electricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines had found all the energy they would ever need. The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat.
London's street will be able to harvest kinetic energy. A street just off London's West End has been transformed into the world's first smart street. London's Bird Street has been equipped with a stretch of electricity-generating floor tiles and a bench that can filter air. Small energy-storing flywheels are equipped inside the tiles. As footsteps land on the tiles, the weight creates a downward force that spins the flywheel, which then converts kinetic energy into electrical energy through electromagnetic induction. Each tile can convert footsteps into 5 watts of electricity. The electricity can then be used to power street lamps, speakers, and Bluetooth transmitters. The clean air bench at one end of the street, besides providing a resting area for pedestrians, filters gases such as nitrogen dioxide and other particles. It then expels the air that has been cleaned. The same electricity-generating tiles are also installed at Heathrow Airport and at football pitches in Brazil and Nigeria.
The piece de resistance of the street is a 10-square-meter array of an energy-generating walkway. The pathway is outfitted with technology that allows it to generate energy just by people walking on it. As we mentioned in earlier coverage of the tech, as pedestrians walk on the walkway, the pressure causes generators in the flooring to vertically displace. Electromagnetic induction creates kinetic energy which can then be used to power devices. In the case of Bird Street, as its name suggests, the pathway will be powering ambient bird calls and lighting. Even more, the pathway will also utilize Bluetooth low-energy transmitters to deliver incentives for using the PaveGen system through branded apps.
The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines had found all the energy they would ever need. The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 100.
In essence, is our audience generating heat, which rises, and it goes a long way in a room like this, and is then captured in these cassettes above us, and literally piped back through a plant room into boreholes in the ground, which are out in our community garden.
20-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion.
That heat that's transferred from the nightclub then gets transported out to here, which is the community garden, and we've got 12 boreholes beneath the ground. The heat gets transferred into the rocks, which these boreholes access, and that's used to store the heat. Then when we need the heating for something else, at a different time of day or a different part of the venue, we can transfer the heat from the rocks back into the venue.
The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines had found all the energy they would ever need. The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery.
PaveGen is generating energy from people's footsteps. Every time people walk, our technology captures their kinetic energy and turns it into electricity. The more people walk, the more power we can create. We've got operations in about 9 countries at the moment. We've installed about 200 sites around the world. So that goes as far as in Korea, we're powering Kia motor factories. We're also in Nigeria powering soccer pitches. Rio de Janeiro, we've been working on a number of public infrastructure projects there. And recently, the US has been huge for us. We've got a great saturation globally, and now it's about focusing on the core verticals that are going to give us growth.
It's not just about power, is it? You've got a whole thinking about how it generates power, data and engagement as well.
Yeah, so I think the energy space is really tough, and we know that. So we have an energy source, it's an off-grid power. So for example, one footstep will give you about 20 seconds of light on an LED fitment. But what it does as well is we're producing data. So for retailers, it's heat mapping, it's knowing where people are, for municipalities and transport sites. But we've also got a way to connect it to your mobile devices. So I actually know who you are walking into a space, and we've got a reward mechanic based on how many steps you make. So if you make 50 steps, we'll actually give you a financial equivalent for the steps you're making in that environment.
Is it limited to just people walking on this, or could you pave a road for cars to drive over?
Yeah, so right now we're focused on, it's in Heathrow Airport, in busy transport sites, in tube stations, it's about to go on Oxford Street, and that's the easy stuff. Now, the big challenge is roads. When a truck locks its brakes up at 50 miles an hour, there's enough force to rip the tarmac off the road. Now, trying to innovate and be a startup in that space we know is hard. So that's for us down the line. So as being an ingredient brand, there's no reason why we can't use the energy from people sitting on office chairs, to in vehicles, to in the sole of a shoe, and even in a building moving in the wind. There's no reason why we can't take our core IP and take it into those spaces. And that's our plan, to exploit that over the next 12, 24, 36 months. No one's really ever commercialized a floor like this before, not in this way. It's an old idea, but we're really at the forefront of where the kind of new area lies.
And there isn't really a material out there that's able to hold the heat back and conduct the electricity in a format which was flexible or inexpensive. So what we decided to do was to build such a material, and we can build those materials using nanotechnology.
And when it comes to designing a material that can fit on the back of a mobile phone, small size is a big advantage.
The most important idea behind the application is that it's invisible.
Layering carbon nanotubes with flexible plastic fibres, Carol's team created a material that converts heat into electricity with the feel and thickness of a fabric.
This is power felt. So this little swath right here is a piece of power felt, and all you have to do is grab it and warm it up on one end. And if you do that, you can see the voltage go way up.
Carol says power felt is relatively inexpensive to make, meaning the potential uses for the material go well beyond boosting mobile phone batteries.
The cost factor is the #1 reason why eco technologies are not adopted. Solar cells, for instance, is an excellent example. Power felt is a way around that. It's an inexpensive way to collect the heat that's wasted normally and convert it into electricity at the cost of a fabric, at the cost of a felt. But here's what it looks like if you make a shirt out of it. So this is a shirt that charges your battery. This is the power felt here, and you can see that feels nice.
The next step, says Carol, is partnering with a company that can produce power felt on a larger scale.
And we are just now where we move into the exponential phase. And I agree, artificial intelligence, but not only artificial intelligence, but also the metaverse, new space technologies, and I could go on and on, synthetic biology. Our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, very much affected, and who masters those technologies in some way will be the master of the world.
Nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated.
Are you vaccinated, if I
may
ask?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very pro-vaccination. Yeah. I believe the science is unequivocal.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants. Just think of sensors planted into our brains.
Basically implanted in your skull. So, but it would be flush with your skull. So you basically take out a chunk of skull, put the Neuralink device in there. You put the electrode, you'd insert the electrode threads very carefully into the brain.
It doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you if you take a genetic editing. It's a fusion of the physical, the digital, and the biological world. That's really the essence of the fourth industrial revolution.
A merger with biological intelligence and machine intelligence.
An effort for man to merge with machine in a healthy way.
Yes.
To beat machines, you basically have to merge with machines.
Most likely, yes.
As work is changing, is a universal basic income really a solution to this problem?
I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary.
Decarbonization of the economy.
Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
I mean, my top recommendation, honestly, would be just to have a carbon tax.
This global reset is necessary.
A central bank digital coin out there in the world that is being utilized on a daily basis, whether it's wholesale or retail, and it becomes a superior system. Francois, yes or no?
We have several experiments which are not very far from that. They are not yet generalized, but they could be, let's say, the next 3 years, probably. It will go quicker on the wholesale side, yes, I guess, because it raises less sensitive questions.
Yes, Axel.
No, I'm quite glad to hear what you're saying, François, on the wholesale digital currency, not coin. I am also a believer that will come in 5 years. Yes, what I try to say is obviously, we still have those huge legacy environment. They need to migrate as well, so we will not yet see all the benefits coming through, but it will come and will be much more efficient, also probably much more secure, lowering transaction costs. On the retail side, I'm much more skeptical. Certainly call it for the established economies.
I do have to say, just on the issue of gas prices, after waiting for a long time to have enough chips in this country to finally get my electric vehicle, I got it and drove it from Michigan to here this last week.
And I saw a star fall from the heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.